We're going to talk about a distinction between emotional dependence and emotional sobriety. One distinguishing factor is how we respond to our emotional experience. When we are in a state of emotional dependency, we tend to have a lot of rules and judgments about those emotions. We don't tolerate them, we have unrealistic expectation for them, and then we resort to unhealthy coping skills such as self-soothing by numbing ourselves with drugs, alcohol, compulsive behaviors, gambling, excessive shopping, porn, things like that. Those function to soothe our nervous system. And then we're going to use some of our childhood strategies to problem solving that we used as a child, and we never learned other tools or other strategies, or else our nervous system is stuck developmentally at that state because of the trauma that we've gone through. So we end up using childhood strategies for adult problems, and this becomes more of a problem for us. The problem isn't the problem, it's how we respond to the problem that becomes the problem. This brings us over to the concept of emotional sobriety. With emotional sobriety, we are practicing accepting without judgment. I call that radical acceptance, all of our emotional experience. And we're accepting the emotional experience of other people. Instead of demanding that life meets us on our terms with our specific requirements, rules for how people should and shouldn't be, with emotional sobriety, we are meeting life on life's terms. And instead of expecting it to be how we think it should, it must, we address it with focusing on what will work. What is effective in the situation? What is going to work in this situation? And then we take the proper steps. Now, this is going to involve being really clear about what part's yours and what part isn't yours. It's also going to require that you have skills that give you the awareness or the know-how on what to do that would be effective in that situation. And in comes shame, because one of the ways that we have been shamed is by being given unrealistic expectations that either weren't developmentally appropriate, or we were expected to know things that we didn't know, be masterful at things that we haven't mastered. And then people are like, what's wrong with you? So then when we're trying to do something, we think we should know how, we should be good at it, but we haven't really learned, or we haven't practiced, or it hasn't become our go-to to address it, then we're going to get really hard on ourselves, and we're going to say, oh, what's wrong with me that I can't do that? Seems like, and then we start comparing. It seems like other people can do that. Why can't I do that? So this is where we continue to hold unrealistic expectations for ourselves, which continues the cycle of shame. So it's very helpful to work with somebody that can help normalize that experience and help you understand that this is not a unique flawness of you, but it's something we need to equip you with and have you practice so that you can become skilled at self-regulating, self-soothing in appropriate and healthy ways, and attending to your emotions and attending to your problems in healthy and appropriate ways. This is what we teach in Inspired Living School, is those specific skills, such as increasing vagal tone. So you can learn about the polyvagal theory and how to soothe and address your nervous system. And using skills that I pull from some of my DBT background, like effectiveness skills, mindfulness skills, interpersonal effectiveness, distress tolerance, and more. These tools, along with some of the recovery wisdom, like the serenity prayer and using your higher power as you understand it, are things that can help us achieve what we hope for in this life so that we can find emotional freedom and have a sense of build self-trust and have a sense that we're able to navigate this life more effectively. And then start focusing on building the life that you really want to build for yourself. When you're practicing emotional sobriety, you're really opening yourself up to a new possibility for who you are and what is possible in this world. This is really key because when you start practicing emotional sobriety, you start to experience a new part of you that you've never really experienced before. It might be a little uncomfortable at first, and people might around you might want to push you back to act how they're familiar with you, but you just continue because now you're living from the inside out versus before you lived from the outside in, and you're using the principles of emotional sobriety. So continue to stay here and watch. I'm going to teach you a lot more about emotional sobriety because there's a lot to be said about it. And we really do need regular fine tuning and information and support to do it this new way so we can rewire our brain, rewire our nervous system, and just really do this thing. Thanks so much for being here, and please drop me your comments and your questions. I would love to answer those in further videos for you. And thank you for subscribing. And come on over to my website, sign up so you can get announcements about the courses that are coming and sign up for Inspired Living School. Thanks so much. Bye.